So, welcome everybody to the first ever episode of United Talk TV, episode 1, season 1. I'm your host, Patso, joined tonight
You're not
by,
recording. Oh, you are recording.
I am
Sorry.
Don Roo, Godfather Ryan, Lee, Nunes, and Rax. Welcome, gents. So, good stuff.
What's up, Matzo?
All good, man. So, great result last night. Big game coming up on Sunday. Let's just get into it. So, we were talking like earlier on our group and saying, we've got this whole definition of rat clubs and sort of park clubs and world-class clubs. So I think we'll start off with Don Roo will give us his definition of what's a rat club.
Okay, so here's how it goes. We got 20 clubs in the league, and then you got like your title contenders, like about 2 or 3 of them. Then you got those clubs thereabout for the Champions League spots and the Europa League spots. And then you got what I coined the term rat clubs. Those are clubs like they don't compete in Europe, and they don't win trophies. They're just there. Some of them finish mid-table. Some of them they just want to stay up. And basically, because they don't play a weekly game, they have like lots of rest days. So they fired up when they play the big clubs, And there's no bigger club than Man United. So those are the clubs I coined the term rat clubs. And yeah, but to be fair, when Man United plays, all 37 games are hard because everyone raises the games. But rat clubs, because they don't compete in Europe, they can raise their games against the big teams week in, week out. Their trophies, because they don't win trophies, is the scalp of a big club like Man United. So that's their cup final. They always raise their game for that. And that's a rat club for me. And we just played one last night, Crystal Palace, one of the big rat clubs.
So let me bring Nunes into this here. Nunes, do you think United are like a club? I mean, under Sir Alex Ferguson, we kind of dominated everyone, right? And post Sir Alex, we seem to have this problem where we don't dominate clubs how we used to. Is that a perception, or do you think that's like the fact that there's certain clubs we just can't seem to play well against?
I think it's a perception, to be honest. I think we've gone through a difficult stage for the past 7 years where we've just been chopping and changing managers. And when it was a point where we had Ferguson, we were never used to that. So we were never used to getting a new manager, new players, new way of playing. We only knew one way, and it was winning. So we were spoiled, actually, as fans and tired supporters. And when it came to that point where we got Moyes and Van Gaal, and I think we got a little bit of open, we got Mourinho, and we started getting players like Pogba and Zlatan, and, things kind of changed. But I think the perception at that point, within that 7 years, it was a thing where we were like just one of those teams that anyone could beat. And I think now, you can say in the past year or so, things have changed a bit. And slowly but surely, you see that little bit of confidence coming through from what we used to have when Ferguson was there. I mean, I never watched Ferguson for my entire life but from what I know and from what I've seen, it's been nothing but success. And I think to get to that point again, it's what we're trying to build now. Looking for youngsters, bringing them through the youth setup, and buying the players that fit in with the mentality of our culture, basically as a squad.
Yeah, no,
so
I like that.
I think the direction is correct now. And I think we've got a manager who's got the same mentality as what the players have. We don't have a manager who's got a big head and the players are trying to be bigger than the manager. I think everybody's on the same level now. So looking forward to dominating again, and hopefully that's the case.
I like that. Ryan, so just touching what Nunes is saying, Ryan, do you think it's down to the manager? I mean, do you see Ole as being at that same level now of your Klopps and Guardiolas, or does he still have a way to go? And is he sort of above par? Yeah.
I think it's in the beginning. Yeah, I'll be the first to say that I was like not anti Ole, but I picked on a lot of things that were coming negative from the club, being an inexperienced manager. But I think he's grown into the position, and he's growing into the position very, very well. He does have a lot to learn. let's give him that. And he's come a long way. And the players are starting to respect him and they're starting to play the way that he wants to play. And I think from the time he's taken over, he said that he wants to bring back the culture. And slowly, we're starting to see the culture come. And I mean, we had a good win. We drew the game before, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and it's going to take time. And I'll be the first to say again.
Looks like we lost Ryan here.
Yeah, it looks like Ryan kind of froze there. But I think we got the gist of what Ryan was saying. Our manager seems to be going at the same direction as what our club is going at the moment. So we're getting better and better.
And
yeah, definitely.
It's kind of like the start of Ole's managerial career still. Like Klopp has been there for how many years? Guardiola, he got a good start. He had Messi, the world's best player, to start off with his first proper managerial. Our guy, Ole, had a little bit of Cardiff, a little bit of Molde, and now he's his first big club. He's, only around a year. So, yeah, he's at the start of his career, but so far, I think he's doing well. And hopefully he becomes those elite managers.
I can't quite remember. Like, when Moyes took over, that season, where did we finish?
Moyes, seventh.
We finished 7th, right? Then, after Moyes, we had Van Gaal.
Yeah.
Right?
We went fourth first and then fifth. Fourth and then fifth.
Fourth and fifth with Van Gaal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then with Mo, we finished second.
Second and what?
And sixth.
Sixth, yeah.
Second and sixth. So if you look at Ole's first term, if you want to call it that, or his first season.
His first full season.
This is his first full season,
his first full season, right? He's not looking too bad in terms of where we're sitting. I mean, we're still competing for two trophies. We at worst will finish fifth. Put it that way, right? We'll at worst finish in fifth. So I don't think it's a terrible first season. Like Ryan was saying, you know, he's got a lot to learn, but I think he's slowly growing into that position. But the main thing is, it looks like he's got the players on his side, whereas the players seem to have been rebelling against the other managers based on their, and I brought it up the last time as well, their philosophy of what they think the club should be, whereas Ole knows what the club should be, and he wants the players to, and he wants to fit into what the club is all about, not the other way around.
And it was also egos. I think there was a lot of egos flying around when Mourinho and Van Gaal were there. And I mean, you look at someone like Pogba, always kind of turned his head around, you know. He was a player who looked very distant, and he wanted to be better than Mourinho for a long time. And now he looks like a player who's just got his head screwed on properly, and he's just playing his game naturally, you know. You don't have to look for him in the game anymore. You don't have to look for his stats. You don't have to look for what he done, because you know that he's making an effort now.
Yeah, it's a thing of also, like, I think the other managers tried to sort of cage them in what they could do and what they couldn't do on the pitch, you know, whereas with Ole, they've got their freedom to play their game within that structure.
Okay, I think we got Ryan back. I'm going to paint a scenario for you guys, right? And then let's just get you guys' viewpoints on it. So we beat Chelsea on Sunday, right? We beat them on Sunday. We go to the FA Cup final. Then we beat West Ham on Thursday. Trash West Ham. But then we lose to Leicester. And Chelsea beat Wolves. So we end up as 5th Chester United, as our rival fans have been talking about this. That's where we end our league position. Fast forward to the FA Cup. Hard-fought win. Hard-fought victory. And we win the FA Cup. Fast forward a couple of weeks later, Europa, we make it to the final, ends up a draw, and we lose on penalties, right? So no Champions League football next year, but we win one trophy, we finish 5th. Is the season a success? Yes or no? Let's start with Killer. Just joined us. Killer, what do you...
Guys, sorry.
No,
I'm fashionably late. You know, the daddy duties came first.
I don't know if you heard my whole scenario painting there.
I got the last part of it.
So I'm saying we finish 5th, miss out on Europa, get to the final of Europa, but lose it, and win the FA Cup. is the season a success? Yes or no?
Um, well, yes. If I look at where we started off, I'd say yes. But with third place being achievable last week, I don't think if we rate it against that, then I don't think it's successful. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's such a
Because
tough one to take.
it's we've become accustomed to winning, so anything that's not every competition that we compete in, if we do not at least make it to the final or win, it's not a
Oh, so-
it's a non-negotiable for us. We need to win. We need to be competitive. So I don't know. That's a tough one. You have to at least win Europa. If you get into it, you have to at least win that. Or FA Cup, whatever it is.
Yeah.
With the
True.
squad we have right now, I can't see it.
I would say no, it's not from where we are now. I know if you look back at the start of the season where we were, whatever, but I think we absolutely have to get back into the Champions League to be. We need our youngsters Rashford and Martial and them to be playing in the Champions League. You can see Martial and is ready to start scoring in the Champions League. So I think not being in the Champions League will be. I mean, for all like we say, he has done improvements. I think not making Champions League will be that defines whether the season's good or bad.
Yeah, I actually saw a tweet where someone said that somebody said if Iheanacho and Tammy Abrahams are in the Champions League and Martial and Rashford aren't, then they might as well just cancel football because it makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That doesn't
true.
make sense.
Ryan, what do you think?
I think
What's our success for this year?
I agree with Ru. I mean, not getting Champions League is it's a big deal, and for the standards that Manchester United has, and fair enough, Oli had a long way to go, but the football that we've been playing, we don't have a reason not to win Champions League at all. I mean, they were saying that if the league started in January, United would have been on top of the league, 1 point ahead of Liverpool.
Mm.
So we don't have an excuse. Champions League is a must. My opinion, Champions League is a must. Right now, it's a must. Players like Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, I mean, Bruno, all these guys, to be going to go 2-3 seasons without Champions League, we're not going to be able to hold on to these guys. They're going to go. Irrespective if they come from the youth, if they love the club, if they got Manchester tattooed on their arm, they want to play Champions League.
Yeah, it's a
That's the
tough
bottom line.
one. It's a bottom line. But Lisho, I mean, you've been pro Ole,
Yeah.
I think from the word go, right? So your view,
Right.
you'll be a bit more soft on him, I think, than the rest of us.
Yeah, look, if you look at 10 games ago, right, or when was it? Yeah, I think about 10 games ago, or that 18 games unbeaten or whatever. If you look at it from when that started, right, we were 25 points behind Leicester, sitting in like 8th or 9th, right? We're sitting now at 5th, kind of on
3
this
goals
on the
behind
same.
them.
Same
3
point.
goals behind Leicester, same points, 3 goals behind Leicester. So if you look at where we came from this season to where we are now, we've already sort of achieved something in the sense that we're not yet in that top 4 bracket because of 3 goals. However, we've come from 25 points behind to catch up and possibly make third. So if the scenario is that we win FA Cup and kind of miss out on Champions League football, I think it would be more of a success than a failure. So,
So I hear
that's what I think.
you.
Because it's winning. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
No, I'm saying I hear you, but then aren't we kind of being a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Because I mean, like last year we gave Liverpool all the grief in the world for getting 97 points, right? And we were like,
Right.
second, you're still second, you're still first losers, blah, 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 blah. We never heard any of the bullshit
Yeah.
about 97 could have won the league any other season in the history of football. We didn't listen to any of that, right? We were like, well, you lost,
Right.
right? So even though we made up
Yeah.
this big 25-point gap, if we finish 5th,
Yeah.
we're finishing 5th. That means you're the 5th
Yeah.
best side in England. And that for me
Sure.
is like, I mean, I love Ole. I like what he's doing, but does it mean we've made progress? Or does it mean we've just sort of stayed where we were, with just more exciting football? Or is that good enough? Is playing exciting football
I
good enough
think
now?
progress is not just measured on where we're finishing. I know that is a big part of it, but hear me out. Progress is also the mindset of the players, the kind of football we're playing, how we're playing it, how we're approaching games. So that's all part of it. So if you look at it in that sense, we've made a huge difference. It's chalk and cheese compared to last season. You know, so in that sense, we've made progress. If we win the FA Cup's a major title. So I see that as being successful in the sense that we've won a major title.
I
So,
want us to go and
yeah,
win the FA Cup.
hey,
I want us to go out and win the FA Cup.
no,
There's only
definitely,
two
I can't.
games for the trophy.
Yeah.
We should go all out. Yeah.
Do you
I
guys
also
don't
and I
think?
think
Sorry,
yeah,
you
sorry,
don't
brother.
think that prior to this break that we had in the football, our expectations were low. We had this break, the team came back, and now I think the goals have shifted. I think the targets have shifted. I think the way the teams are playing, it's put more. We demanding more because the way the
Yeah.
squad is playing, we were like, these targets are achievable. So our expectations have shifted after this lockdown. So I think if you look at it in that sense, yeah, there's failures and then there'll be success. But since this lockdown, everybody's expectation of what the squad must achieve is a lot higher than where we were
No,
starting of the
definitely.
season.
Yeah.
So I think
Don't you
that's
think
the
it
big
will be-
shift.
I think it will be devastating if we don't make Champions League this season.
Exactly, yeah, I
Because
agree.
we've played a very different type of football to get to the stage that we are now. And to be so close and not make it will be, I think it will crush the players and
No,
everyone,
definitely.
fans, players, and everything.
I
But
think we'll
in
all
terms
be
of
devastated.
progress, we've made very good progress as a squad, management-wise, everything. We made very good progress. But I think winning the FA Cup and missing out on Champions League, I think it would be like Galen said, it's a double-edged sword to be honest. And
Yeah,
like I say, we've been spoiled so much before in the past. I'd like us to win all. I'd like us to get into Champions League, win Europa and FA Cup. I mean, that's the dream.
No,
you know?
definitely. That's for me. That would be the ultimate end to the season. Obviously, I'm sure for everyone
Yeah.
is to get third
Yeah.
place, win FA Cup, win Europa, and say fuck you to everyone.
But if we
third
don't
place.
win any trophies and we get Champions League, I think that's a successful season. To be
Definitely.
honest.
Good season.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But then if you put Europa aside, it's 4 games. 4 games,
Yeah.
4 wins, and we've got Champions League football and an FA Cup in the bag. Put the Europa one side.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
That's a success.
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. And I think Ole's got the right approach to it because in every interview, they ask him, yeah, but you've got so many games coming up and what are you going to do for this and that and the other? And I think he's got the right approach where he's focusing on one game at a time. He's not thinking about Sunday and Tuesday and, whatever. He's thinking of that game in front. What do we need to do to win that game? And then we'll deal with what's coming next. And I think he's got the right approach there because even though we know we need to rest players, I think you need to always put your best 11 forward, especially this time of the season.
I think what's nice for us also is that we're on form. We're the informed team and it's all in our hands, basically. We're the informed team. We're the top goal scorers, less conceded. We're playing like beautiful football. So, yeah, it's 4 wins, like you say, Patso. 4 wins, Champions League football, and a trophy. It's a successful season.
The fact that we can have this discussion now about what's achievable in terms of a top 5, I think is already a bit of a success. Because from where we started off, I didn't think we'd be having this discussion.
No,
I
you're
thought
right.
we
You're
would
right.
still be
Not
discussing
at all.
6th place or 7th place or whatever it was.
Yeah, like I was saying, I think it was that 10 games ago or so, we were sitting 25 points behind Leicester.
Yeah.
I think the stat
the
was
top
that
4.
out of 36 possible points we came out, we've won 28 points, which someone was saying now that if the season had started in January, we would have been top of the log.
Yeah.
So I have to give credit where it's due. Lee, you were always pro Ole. I said he didn't deserve the job because he didn't have the CV for it, and I felt he was just out of his depth. In hindsight, But I said, if regardless, you still have to back the team.
Mm.
Whoever's in charge, I don't feel he's right man for the job, but you have to back the team. And he's come good. So he's come good.
Yeah, I think, look, he might not be the greatest in terms of his technical ability or whatever, but I just think that he got the players believing in themselves. He got the players playing for the club, and he's got the players playing for each other, which is what you need, because we've got talented players. You know, it's just about getting them to. I mean, it's what Ferguson did. You know, I mean, we had fucking Anderson and Fletcher, and you know, we can name a whole lot more other players. You know that we had.
So let me put this out.
Yeah, and it's.
Sorry, did you go for it? Go. So what I want to ask is.
No, I was just.
Okay, yeah, we'll start. Let's start from Ryan, right? Should we give this FA Cup game on Sunday? Do we give some of the more fringe players a chance to prove themselves and show what their desire is, or we go all out with our? We know what's our best 11 now, right? Our best 11 from the last 4 games, we've seen it. So we go all out with our best 11.
I think go out. We go out all 11. We go out for the kill. Like Leo was saying, all his approach is how we're going to win the game. Go out best 11 and you win the game, irrespective of what it is. Worry about the next game. Right now, the guys that's on the field is the guys that deserve to play, irrespective of how we look at it. Fred had a good few months. Scott is absolutely amazing. But I mean, Matic is holding down that role. Bruno, you can't drop him. And Pogba's come to life. Those are the guys we need in the team. If you're going to, I don't see anyone that you can actually drop. There's no one that you can drop. Mason is, that boy is something else completely. So the only player I would think you might drop is Victor and bring in Eric, but that's about it. That's about it. I mean, going back to finishing top 3 or Europa, as much as us as fans would want it and the players would want it, that will be a huge boost for Oli. That's just going to push him to the next level as management, if you really think about it. And there's more to expect.
Yeah, because he's never been in that. He's never been in that space. He's never played at that level yet. So it will be a big curve for him to also go up there. Yeah,
big curve for him. You know what I mean? How are we gonna expect him to win trophies if we're gonna be easy on just finishing 5th and winning?
I suppose over time, Ole will become more tactical. I think now none of us know. We know as much as we see. So. Yeah. What we see now currently is he's playing this good type of football, you know, the football we're used to watching. But I think you can see here and there that he does get it wrong with his substitutions, the timing of it, the way he changes his formation in the games. Maybe he's not 100% on those sort of small little detail. But I think as time goes by, maybe when we're playing in the Champions League, you know, you play home and away, where you have to rely on an away goal, defend, play compact football against these teams in Europe. Maybe that's where you'll see a little bit more tactics come out of him, and maybe that's when you'll be able to prove that he's good to be a United manager. You know, so I think on Sunday we go out with our best 11, we put in a few goals, and then you start taking your players off that you need to rest for the next game.
Yeah,
you kill the game early, and you move on to the next one.
I like your point about the whole tactics and how we could go all out. Sorry, Ryan, did you want to say something before we just go on to the next one?
Yeah, I was just going to say, come Sunday, before making subs, I mean, he can't take Bruno and Pogba off when there's 20 minutes to go. He's going to have to carry those guys till maybe 5-10 minutes and then make it sub. Yeah. Because Chelsea is also fighting for something.
We don't have the depth in squad to defend one goal currently.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
So we don't have that. And Fred and Scott, they're not those players who's going to just hold the ball continuously, you know. I mean, we've got players like James, who's just a runner. You know, he's not going to hold the ball for you. For me, players that can hold the ball or can defend a one goal advantage is someone like Mata, you know. He's not a runner. He can turn around at the ball as many times as you want, play it around in the midfield, in and out of defense. That's the type of play you need to control the game. So maybe those are the small things that needs to be changed maybe going forward. But yeah.
On Drew.
Yeah.
I hear what all the boys are saying, and I think they're all right. We've improved tenfold, right? But our rival fans still say that we wouldn't be where we are without the likes of VAR and getting fortunate penalty decisions. Even though when you look at it, there's nothing fortunate about it. People foul our players, we get a penalty. That's the bottom line, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
thinking about the VAR, but has it really helped us that much this season, or do you think it's maybe proven how much of a disadvantage we were at before?
I don't know. I think VAR is just like referees. You know, things go in your favor and things don't go in your favor. It's just created an extra talking point. Before, the referees used to make the mistakes. Now VAR makes mistakes, and because we more often than not, since Ole came, we actually getting into the box and forcing VAR to make decisions. You know, there's more talking points around Man United these days, and you know these rat clubs do everything to stop us. So that just creates more VAR decisions. So I don't know whether I'm in favor of VAR or without it, or you know, or maybe just go back to the old way of football where just the referee makes the mistake or not. But as long as, because of, I think one of the catalysts is Bruno coming in January. As long as we just create the chances, you'll get the penalties, you'll get VAR. Okay, we were fortunate about the offside decision, but I mean the guy was offside. How many times we also get disallowed goals because
The
of our
Rashford
offside?
chance against I don't know, who was it? Bournemouth.
Yeah, in our last game.
It was the same distance that he was offside
Yeah.
for the goal that he scored. So
Yeah.
I mean,
These
it's one
decisions
for one.
balance. These decisions
Exactly.
balance out. Yeah.
And
It's just
rival
that-
fans will never remember the goals we scored that were
Yeah.
denied by VAR to us.
Yeah.
They'll only remember the goals that were scored against us that were overturned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
And
Man
now there's
United,
like a
so
stat. There's a stat table for VAR decisions. I mean, really, you know, it
Yeah.
wasn't there before. Now suddenly there's a stat table.
So what do you guys all think? Are you all in favor of VAR, or you want to go back to the old way of football where the referees make the mistakes?
I think the technology is good, but I think the way that it's administered is terrible. So I mean, in like somewhere like Italy, the referees go to the screen on the side of the pitch and they check the screen all the time. I've never seen the refs do it once in England. They've never used that video on the side of the screen. They're always relying on
In the World Cup,
room
they did
to
it.
make the decision. Make the decision. And I think that's a bit unfair on the referee on the field, because the referee on the field needs to make the decision.
Yeah.
So maybe if they use it, then it would be good. But I mean,
they must follow Italy's way.
yeah.
The only thing I
Exactly.
think VAR is getting right all the time is offside, because that they're using the line and they're using, you know, so that's the only thing I think they're actually getting right is offside. Like when it comes to handballs, when it comes to penalties, like you know, fouls and that in the box, it's still discretion. You know, so it's just the ref's discretion on the field versus the ref's discretion in the studio. You know, and that's what's making the calls. So like with the handball, like even the other day against Crystal Palace, I think it was, or who was it, where the ball hit the guy on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Bottom out. Yeah.
I think
It was off his shoulder.
So not by his one, but by his one was also questionable. You know, like where did the ball hit him? Was it the shoulder? Was it, you know, whatever? But then there was another call now the other day as well, where the ball hit the guy on the shoulder, went in, and they called it as a handball, goal disallowed. So I think those ones are all discretion. The only thing I think they're getting right all the time is offsides, because with that they can actually measure it.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
I mean, you look at
the rule for offside says any part of a player's body is offside. It's offside. It doesn't talk about
That's
advantage. It doesn't talk about anything else. So if it's a toenail or a piece of toe like this here, then it's offside. That's just what the rule says.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I mean, that tackle that was on Rashford, not Rashford, on Greenwood, sorry, from Romeo in the Southampton game, that could have changed the entire game. You know, that player was one of their best midfield players. He holds that team together in midfield. And if you were sent off in that game, it would have changed the whole dynamic of the league positions and everything. So, I mean, a decision like that, we could go and harp on for days on end to say that that decision changed everything. So rival fans can say what they want to say about us getting VAR decisions, because in the beginning of the season, the same thing happened with Liverpool. They were getting all the decisions from VAR with penalties and everything.
Yeah.
So no one remembers that because it was such a long time ago. So everyone's talking about us now again, and I think that's what we used to.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
think if you weigh the pros and cons of VAR, I think it's got more decisions right than wrong. And I think that
True.
that speaks for itself. If it's got 60% right, then it's
Yeah,
working.
true.
Then it's working.
Yeah.
If
Guys,
it's got 10% right, then we've got a problem.
you're 100% right, Killer. And I think, sorry, guys, so we're like almost up on time. I'm just watching this thing come up here. Tell me we're almost done on time with the call. Again, once again, we thought we wouldn't have much to talk about, and we've like already done 40, 45 minutes worth of chatting here. So thanks a lot, Chance. But I'm going to end it here with like one question, right? And it's we're keeping, well, it's two things in one question. You guys can all put your views on here. Can we say that we are the rivals of Liverpool and City, or are we rivals with Chelsea, Leicester, Spurs, and Arsenal, right? And second part of the question is, hypothetically speaking, we can only sign one player this window. Who's that one player going to be? So, Lisho, you're on screen. You can go first.
So I think United are always rivals for the top. We always, whether we're playing bad or playing good, we always on everyone's mind. So we're always contenders for the title. I think as the season goes on, the season the league sort of sorts itself out, and then you can see are we actually in contention for the title or not. But I think at the beginning of every season, we're always contenders for the season. If we could sign one player in this window, I think we need to sign a centre back. Unpopular opinion here, but I actually think Lindelof has been playing well. The last, call it 10 games, 18 games or whatever. He's very rarely made mistakes. He's been making some good challenges. He's been, doing his job. We see more mistakes out of Harry, Wan-Bissaka, and even Shaw compared to what we're seeing out of Lindelof. What did bring him to light was the other day when he missed that, or when we conceded that goal. But other than that, I haven't seen him actually make any like errors that's cost us. So I think he's been playing well, but I think we do need a solid centre back to maybe pair with Harry, but not like an Ake or Mings or anyone. I think if we bring someone in, it must be someone who's on the same level of better than Harry to solidify that defense. I think going forward, I think we do have options, and I think if we do bring one or two guys from academy, we can have a couple of options going forward. I think we've got a lot of firepower there. I think we just need to strengthen the back a little bit.
Thanks, Lee. Ryan, same question, bud. What you thinking?
Yeah, look, like Lee said, we're always going to challenge, irrespective of what the circumstance of the club is. Everybody's going to look at United as a contender. I don't see us in the same category as Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea. I completely not. So for me, I look at us as one of the top two teams. I would say that. I'll take a chance and say that top two teams. Going forward, we will compete. We will be either first or second. I have that much faith in Oli right now for the type of football we play. And I think a holding midfielder for me, because Matic is getting to the age now where he's getting a bit old. And Scotty is going to probably become the general in the midfield, but he needs someone that he can learn on. Matic, give him another season, he's gone. Fred, he has good games, he has bad games. And I think we dropped him now, come back for him to get him to form is going to take a while. So we need to get someone that can come in and hold that midfield and give Pogba and give Bruno, or give Pogba actually the room to play his game. Because Bruno is doing what he needs to do. So I think holding midfield is what we need.
Good stuff, man. Killer, I'm leaving Rue and Prushen for last because I know who's their player. Right? I'm pretty sure I know what they're going to say. So, Killer, you're going to tell me who your player is or where you see us as competing at the moment.
For me, there's only ever been 4 teams. I mean, we can't count Arsenal. So it's only ever been Chelsea, United, Liverpool, and City. Well, up until the investors came. But for the past few years, it's only been those 4 teams. I don't regard Spurs and Arsenal as competitive team at all.
Yeah.
They don't win anything. You can't. There's
Even
no
Leicester,
history.
for that matter.
Yeah, that was a special season. That was a very special season. We enjoyed it. It was special. And in terms of the squad, our going forward, we're showing a lot of promise. So it makes no sense trying to upgrade there. I'm a big Timo Werner fan. I smack him. But the way our squad is playing up front right now, you can't improve it. It can only be at the back. And we've seen inconsistencies from Shaw. Wan-Bissaka can't cross to save his life. And I agree with Lee. Lindelof is playing a lot better. There's a big improvement. But if there's one person that can improve, it'll probably be a defender, because if you look at the impact Van Dijk's had on Liverpool, that's fantastic. If we can get somebody to have that type of impact at the back, it will maybe free up Shaw and free up Wan-Bissaka from practicing the crosses or getting better along the wings. Make our wingbacks more effective, I think.
Yeah, I like that, Killer. Thank you. Thanks, bud. Nunes, you don't have to tell me where we stand, because I know you think we're the best club in the world. But tell me why we have to sign Jordan Sancho. Tell me now.
So you're right. That's the player that I think we should sign. We've been looking for a right winger for a very long time, and I think in terms of depth in the squad, and if we're going to play in the Champions League, I think we need a class player like that. He's at an age at the same age as Rashford and Martial, and I think he's just absolutely class in terms of assists and mentality and like that sort of play. He's on another level at his age, and also he's English. So I think he'll gel very well with the team, and I think he'll complement someone like Wan-Bissaka a lot. We won't need to rely on someone like Wan-Bissaka to put the ball into the box, because he'll be there to do it, So I think an out-and-out right winger would be power for us. I would really love to see it. And I think it'll also make a statement to the other clubs, We're not just playing the football we're playing for this last few games, and then next season it's just going to be back to normal as what it was over the past few years. I think it will upgrade us as a squad, and I think it will put fear into other teams when we play them, not just on paper but on the field itself.
Thanks, Prish. Ru, your view?
Yeah, well, I mean, all the guys put out all the great comments out there. I totally agree with Killer. There's only 4 clubs. The rest, you can say, are rat clubs almost. Spurs and Arsenal are like evolved big time. They're having their Moyes moment. They finished. And Spurs, are, even with Mourinho, I mean, they're not going to do anything. If you could sign only one player, then, yeah, I want, even though we know there's glaring weaknesses in centre-back, I like Ollie's plan, which is just to go out and score more goals than, to attack teams into submission. And even though, yes, we got a strong front three, I mean, if one of them gets injured, it might get a little bit weaker and the fear factor might go a little bit. So I agree with Prishan. We must get Sancho, and we must score 100 goals next season, and we must just go every game, try to win 5-0. So if one signing, if only one signing, it's Sancho. But if 2 signings, we must need to get that centre back, and a really good one, better than Maguire, to partner him, like an elite top 10 defender. Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm just going to stop the recording. Give me a second there.